at CES 2012, and I'm talking to Sumner from Adobe about Adobe Carousel on the iPad. Hi. Hi, how are you doing?
Good. So Adobe Carousel, it is the first of its kind application that brings your whole photo library to the tablet, to the phone, right here, and to your Mac, to the desktop. And what makes Carousel different from a lot of other applications in this space is that we've got non-destructive image processing that runs across devices.
And you said it plugs into the same sort of camera raw engine that Lightroom and products we're already familiar with are using.
So we're using that same technology under the hood to enable these image adjustments right here. So I've got a full set of sliders for things like exposure and contrast and white balance. Those are just at the top level. I can tunnel down and get more control over things like highlights and shadows. And the really cool thing is here, let's just do something with this. We'll do something crazy like turn the exposure way up and then hit apply. So that's just made that change. And then looking at the same photo here on the Mac, it looks just as horrible as I made it look on the iPad a second ago.
If I'm a Lightroom or a Photoshop user, I can use it on my Mac from the adjustments I made on the iPad.
I'm sorry?
If I also use Lightroom, I also use Photoshop, I can then continue to work on that image on my computer that I've adjusted on my iPad.
Oh, I see. So right now, Carousel is the application that you would use on the desktop.
Okay.
One of the new features in Lightroom 4, which is going into public beta in a few minutes, I think, is that it can export images into Carousel.
Excellent. So Adobe's seeing the expansion of mobile device usage, and this is how someone might want to just work on their iPad, right?
That's right. So I'm the product manager for this, and this is the coolest project to work on because, from my perspective, we're the ones approaching this space, the multi-device space, the way everybody's going to have to do it. I think people have been trained with email to be able to whip out any device and do their email, and so sometimes it's a desktop, sometimes it's a tablet, sometimes it's a smartphone. Now they're expecting the same kinds of flexibility and capabilities from every single app.
They want to do it when they want to do it. They don't want to have to wait and go back to their computer or do it on someone else's schedule.
That's right. I mean, you don't know how many people I've heard tell me, I've got this giant photo library, but it's on my desktop, and I'm tired from work, and I don't want to sit at a desk anymore. I want to hold this on a
feet up on the sofa, a nice beverage maybe, and be editing your photos.
Exactly. And so here we are with the first one to do it in this space.
And how do you feel about the performance on mobile devices? Does it give you kind of image editing ability that you're happy with?
It's certainly an area that we have spent a lot of time on because the mobile devices, they come with hardware constraints that just don't exist on the desktop. So what we've done on this project is we've taken that camera raw engine for JPEGs and we've optimized it to run really well under the hood. So we combine that with what we call this cloud mesh technology that uses a combination of originals for your images and then renditions that include all of the image adjustments that you've done. And so we take up as little storage space as possible. We only pull down as many bits as we need at any given time. And with that kind of combination of architecture and technology, we've got something that works pretty well.
Your demo flies. I mean, you don't see any sort of hesitation. The effects is very fast. It's a very good experience.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do is import a bunch of photos at once. And drop 100 photos in there and then watch them appear instantly here. This works over Wi-Fi and 3G. So
the controls look good. I mean, because people on a computer that used to pixel-perfect mouse pointer adjustments, but you're doing a lot of stuff with gestures on an iPad.
That's right. So here, let me bring up this image again, and let's actually revert to original. So we've always got your original. You can always go back. But you can zoom in here one-to-one. And no matter how big your image was, you had a 20 megapixel or even bigger image, you can zoom in one-to-one here. So it's pretty cool, being able to interact with your photo that way while you're also being able to adjust things. You can see very subtle variations in a way that you can't do on the desktop.
And if you just want to use this on the web, you want to send it out over an email, you need to make a few quick fixes, you can do it right on the device and you're done.
That's right. Add it to an email, post it to Facebook, Twitter.
It's for our mobile lives. Thank you very much. It's Renee from iMore.com talking to Sumner from Adobe, and he's showing off Adobe Carousel for the iPad.